So what are integers? Well, all integers can be found on the number line. And let's start by talking about the most important integer there is, which is the number 0. And let's put it right here on the number line. 0 is the most important integer there is because it has a very important job. It separates the numbers on the right side of the number line from the numbers on the left side of the number line. Now, the numbers to the right of 0 that are integers are positive numbers that are whole. So if we count by ones, to the right of 0, the first integer would be positive 1. The next integer would be positive 2. The next integer after that would be positive 3. Then positive 4. Then positive 5. Then positive 6. Then positive 7. And on the left side of 0, the numbers that are integers are negative numbers that are whole. So the first integer to the left of 0 would be negative 1. The next integer to the left would be negative 2. After that, to the left would be negative 3, followed by negative 4. The next integer would be negative 5, then negative 6, then negative 7. And since integers consist of 0, positive numbers that are whole, and negative numbers that are whole, that means that numbers like fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals, whether they're positive or negative, are not integers. So now that we've gone over integers, let's see if you can say whether each of these is or is not an integer. Let's start with 0. Is that an integer? The answer is yes, it is. Remember, it's the most important integer there is because it separates the positive integers from the negative integers. Next, we've got negative 1 and 5/10. Well, nope, that is not an integer because it's a decimal. Remember, integers must be positive numbers that are whole or negative numbers that are whole. Next, we've got negative 12. So is that an integer or not? The answer is yes, it is, because it's a negative number that is whole. How about positive 3? The answer is yes, because it's a positive number that is whole. Next, we have 1/6. Well, that is not an integer. It's a fraction, which means it's not a number that's whole. Here we have 7, and 7 is an integer. It's a positive number that is whole. Next is negative 2/3, and that is not an integer. Even though it's negative, it's still not a number that's whole. Therefore, it's not an integer. Next, we've got 9 and 1/100th, and that is not an integer because it's a decimal. How about negative 10? Negative 10 is an integer. It's a negative number that's whole. And how about 5/8? No, it's not. Because remember, in order for it to be an integer, it must be a negative or positive number that is whole. Since it's a fraction, it's not a number that's whole. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Math Review.